The International Criminal Court in The Hague prosecutes war crimes and global atrocities. It is an institution designed for judicial independence and self-governance. In 2024, the ICC's top prosecutor, Karim Khan, discovered his enterprise email account had been disabled. No hardware failure or cyber attack caused the outage. Instead, a U.S. technology provider deactivated access to comply with American sanctions law, severing a sovereign institution from its primary infrastructure. This pattern of infrastructure denial is well documented. Following the 2014 annexation, major U.S. mobile ecosystems restricted regional services, blocking Crimean residents from essential app updates. In 2019, a Washington executive order led software companies to deactivate user accounts across Venezuela, instantly disconnecting local businesses from creative enterprise tools. These documents detail the mechanics of regional cutoffs. Apple, Google, and Adobe executed service suspensions based on political criteria. In 2022, Microsoft suspended Russian access to its enterprise tools. These revocations were policy-driven mandates, distinct from technical failures. Organizations relying on foreign cloud providers lease their operational capacity rather than owning it. This dependency allows infrastructure to function as a geopolitical lever. Many enterprise IT leaders rely on physical location as a safeguard. They assume that storing data on a server inside domestic borders ensures digital sovereignty. A typical data residency model places a secure server rack within a physical data center, for example, one located inside the European Union. Planners treat this physical boundary as a shield, believing local regulations will protect their data from external access or sudden shutoffs. In reality, jurisdiction overrides geography. If the cloud vendor is headquartered in the United States, a direct legal path exists from the U.S. government through that physical shield and into the local data center. When the U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control issues a mandate, American corporations must comply. Their global subsidiaries are legally bound by the parent company's obligations, regardless of their physical location. Under the U.S. Cloud Act and FISA Section 702, American agencies can legally compel tech companies to hand over customer data. This authority applies even when the servers are physically located in other countries. When a parent company operates under foreign law, the local data center functions as foreign legal territory. Physical walls provide no protection against extraterritorial mandates. Cloud providers have responded to these geopolitical risks by marketing localized infrastructure configurations labeled as sovereign clouds. These offerings promise regional autonomy by using local data centers, regional technical support staff, and domestic compliance frameworks. Researchers evaluating European technological dependency find these solutions insufficient. This report characterizes the EU's digital sovereignty as aspirational, citing cloud computing as the most acute vulnerability. Analysts and competitors have described these marketing strategies as sovereignty washing. The model contains a structural flaw in encryption key management. If the foreign parent company can access the keys, a legal mandate can still force them to decrypt and turn over customer content. Corporate chains of command override local staffing. Regional subsidiaries cannot legally defy a compliance order issued to their parent corporation. Software configurations do not negate ownership-based jurisdiction. Sovereignty is unattainable if the ultimate corporate authority resides outside domestic law. The military and intelligence sectors often employ an air gap to mitigate the risk of remote service termination. An air gap physically severs the infrastructure from the global internet. The assumption is that a disconnected system cannot be reached by a remote kill switch. However, complex software is highly dynamic. It requires constant maintenance to manage software entropy as new vulnerabilities emerge. Modern cloud infrastructure relies on a continuous stream of vendor-supplied security patches and system updates to defend against new threats. Geopolitical sanctions force the vendor to instantly freeze all maintenance and support. While the physical connection is severed, the legal obligation to stop updates remains absolute. Without updates, unpatched vulnerabilities quickly accumulate. A nominally isolated system soon becomes an undefended target for hostile state actors. Severing the connection only slows the failure. Without domestic maintenance and patching capabilities, an air gap functions as a slow-motion kill switch. These vulnerabilities extend into the civilian critical infrastructure that supports modern economies. Because of vendor lock-in at the cloud layer, A single geopolitical mandate can trigger simultaneous failures across multiple industries. The energy sector illustrates this interdependence. It operates as a chain from upstream grid management through midstream distribution to downstream smart meters. If the cloud provider revokes service, the upstream grid management tier is paralyzed. Operators lose the ability to balance the power grid in real time. The failure state ripples through the chain, disabling distribution, freezing market exchanges, and locking customer billing platforms. These customer-facing systems are highly vulnerable. A 2024 breach at Spain's Iberdrola utility compromised 1.3 million customers, demonstrating network fragility. Similarly, a DDoS attack on Italy's A2A disrupted digital services and created widespread operational uncertainty. Deep supply chain dependencies mean an externally mandated cloud blackout produces the same operational damage as a systemic cyber warfare campaign. Geopolitical friction now manifests as a direct, quantifiable risk to IT infrastructure, forcing C-suite leaders to prioritize architectural resilience. Organizations are beginning to move away from concentrated vulnerability by dismantling monolithic, single-vendor cloud architectures. Resilient alternatives involve decentralized frameworks. These systems utilize multi-vendor, interoperable architectures built on open standards. True digital sovereignty requires that the physical infrastructure and the controlling corporate entity both operate within domestic legal jurisdiction. Risk management professionals are increasingly formalizing the cloud exit strategy as a core operational requirement. Enterprise leaders now mandate strict data portability, avoid proprietary data formats, and actively test the migration of critical workloads. The goal is the capability to seamlessly swap providers without catastrophic downtime, maintaining continuous control over the data lifecycle. When digital infrastructure is weaponized, operational continuity rests on an enterprise's ability to migrate away from a vendor at a moment's notice.